Okay, it's Thursday the 13th of August today. I'm going to do the live trade after this candle. I do one live trade a week where I trade minimum position size. Minimum position on the Ftse is £2 per point, so I trade £3 per point. So if I ever want to close out part of the position, I can show you how that is done. We've just had a strong move down here into my zone. This candle here closed at 588.1. The reason I want to show you this trade is because this candle is an engulfing candle. However, you need to be very careful with engulfing candles because coming at the end of a very strong move down like this, quite often this can be based around people simply taking profits. So it's not necessarily buyers interested in getting in the market here. Quite often it's just people taking profits and some buyers, which push this into an engulfing candle. So quite often when you enter a trade after an engulfing candle like this, after a strong move down, the market will just pop up a little bit and then fall away again. So if we break the high here, I'm going to enter this trade and I'll show you how I manage the trade. It could either rally back up or it may fail quite quickly. That's why it's quite a good trade to watch. Okay, so I'll come back if the market breaks above. Okay, so you can see that this move has produced the engulfing candle and then it has continued to fall away. This is exactly what I'm talking about, whereby these candles can be produced by people taking profits. They've obviously identified this zone as a potential support and resistance zone. They've rode the market down and then they've exited their position where they're expecting to find resistance. This is why I will only ever enter the market after I get my signal candle and then once the market breaks the high of the candle. This shows me that the market is willing to push further. The market turns straight around here. You get a lot of traders who say they enter on pullbacks. This is why I would never do this, because every pullback could potentially be a losing trade. I mean, every move that moves against you begins as a pullback. I am expecting some sort of reaction down here. I might not get it. If I don't get it, I won't enter the market. I would certainly never enter the market after a signal candle without then having the confluence of it breaking the high. And this is exactly why. So I'm going to add to this video if I do get a signal down here somewhere. But as you can see, this would now be negative equity. I'd now be in negative and it would not be very nice. Okay, so as you can see, this market has just plummeted away. If you had entered after this candle, you would now be in a losing trade. Almost certainly, unless your stop was incredibly large, which I wouldn't advise. So what's happened is this has been profit taking, and then people have used this as a way to jump onto the trend. The market's pushed up, and then people have sold into it. This is why I never enter after a candle forms. I always wait until I get my signal candle and then the market breaks the high. This candle right here was potentially going to be another signal candle. This was all green at one point. It was bullish with a tail. And this is why it's also important never to jump on the market as a candle is forming, because this looked very bullish to me when I was watching it. I actually expected it to be my signal candle, and then it turned around, collapsed, turned into a doji, and the market fell away. So although this is not technically a live trade, I am going to use this as the live trade for this week because I think it's actually a very important lesson when you're trading. You always want to wait until your signal has completed, but then you also want to understand what the signal is telling you. And engulfing bars quite often can be profit taking. You have to be aware of that. I always enter above the high. If you want to enter on pullbacks, that's your choice. But this can avoid you a lot of losses. As you can see, the market just fell straight away, and it was the right thing for me to do to wait. So if you are learning how to trade, please do subscribe to Decisive Trading. It is free, and there are a lot more videos to come. And I'm James Orr. Enjoy your weekend.